Hi and welcome to this reading. Today's reading is a collective love reading. I'm pulling through the energy of a couple where two worlds collide is what I was hearing. The other song I was hearing was It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine. Now I've done a pre-shuffle on your cards. These were the cards that came through. But first, a bit about me. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I pick up on energy prior to a reading. I will then come and use my tarot and oracle decks to further clarify the message. All of the messages are timeless. Whenever you stumble across this reading, you are meant to find it. All of the decks that I use on my channel are my own designs because I'm also an illustrator. If you call to any of those, the links can be found in the description box. Any songs, any movies, anything like that I channel during the reading or that come out in the cards, I will also pop in the description box. If you are intuitively guided to click on a link, it might be the song, the lyrics, the album cover, the artist, the movie that it's attached to. If you're guided to click on it, follow your intuition because there may be more messages in that for you. As I said, it is a collective love reading. So the messages that I was getting, I was hearing lean into it. Lean into it. There's something that's about to happen that is going to make you want to run in the other direction. But where you have been put at this particular time of meeting this person is where you are meant to be. This is the Six of Swords. It's a card of divine guidance. It's actually God. It's two people in a boat and it's God steering the boat. Mercury in Aquarius. The Six of Swords. We've got the Two of Pentacles, two people in a boat. And if you look at that, they align in the middle. It's how you are being connected in with this person. We've got the Hangman. Now that's going to come through in the messages in regards to the dream I had. The Hangman is a pause. God making you stop where you are so that you can connect with this person. And I just got the image of if you jump on the next train, then you won't align. Your train has to be held back at the station so that you can inevitably get on the same train, the same track as this other person. But Neptune energy is water. Neptune's just gone into Aries. It's been in Pisces, which again is water. And then we have the Hierophant. That's the God card. Whatever this is, it's being orchestrated by God. You're not in control. And I think in some parts, that may be what makes you want to run. Now, I got number 11, Levia, victory. That card aligns with Uranus in Libra. Uranus is the planet of sudden shocking events. It also the planet of earthquakes. Now, I was getting, in my dream, I had a dream about a tsunami. I often dream about tsunamis. But it is often an earthquake that triggers a tsunami. Victory, number 11. It's the King of Swords. If you want to align it with a tarot card, that angel aligns with the King of Swords. A cosmic truth brings in an alignment of two people dancing with a stranger. Dancing with a stranger, not somebody that you've met before. Not in this lifetime anyway. Now, as I said, I was getting the words lean into it. The notes that I took. You may want to run in the other direction when this happens. Fear may take over, but this is destined. This is destined to happen this way. So the dream that I had 2 nights ago, it was actually the night of the solar eclipse, which was in Aries. And now that we've got Neptune in Aries in the sky, you'll be getting prolific dreams. And quite detailed, I find at the moment. The dreams are quite, like I can tell you exactly what happened. So I have this recurring dream and I've had for many, many years about connecting with a group of individuals that I've come to learn, that I don't know, but that I've come to learn are part of the progression of my soul journey. Not in a romantic sense or anything like that, just part of me developing my skills. So often these people appear in my dreams. It normally comes in with some sort of profound message, and it will come in at a time where the energy is playing out in the 3D. So I'm dreaming about it, subconsciously dreaming about it. No control, again, lean into it. No control over what's going on in my dream. I'm just remembering it and then relaying that information in the 3D. It can be metaphoric. It can be actual. I don't know. You know, I'm on the same soul journey as everybody else. We're just, what I would say, winging it. I'm just winging it. But in this dream, I don't know where we had been, but we were flying home back to Australia. I was with my daughter. We were flying home back to Australia. And for some reason, we ended up on some island in the Caribbean. It was Jamaica, or that was the visual I had. Just the aesthetics of the place. But it was some tropical island. And in my dream, I turned to her and I said, I don't want to stay on this island. It doesn't feel right. I feel like something's going to happen here. Meaning some sort of natural disaster was what I was picking up on. And so I rang my friend, who in real life is a travel agent, but I rang her in my dream. And I said, you need to get us off this island. And she said, I'll get back to you. And in the interim, waiting for her call back, we were informed that this group of individuals that at some point in our timeline, in our life, we were meant to connect with, was going to be checking into the same hotel the following morning. Shortly after, my friend rang and she said, I've got your flights out. And we were like, okay, no problem. Obviously, at this point in time, we weren't meant to meet up with these people. So we planned, packed our bags, ready to leave. And we decided to take a walk on the beach. And as we were walking on the beach, we turned out, we just heard this almighty roar. And we turned around to look at this massive wall of water just coming into the island. It was kind of like in those movies where the wall of water comes in over New York City and it's higher than all the buildings, and you just know that nobody has got a chance. And I said to my daughter, this is it. This is the end. And as we turned around to run, the people that we thought we were going to miss the opportunity of meeting, because we were leaving that afternoon and they were meant to be arriving the next day, were walking down the beach. They had arrived early and we were all meant to be on this beach together as this huge wall of water came. This feeling of a situation between two people, two groups of people, people in and around a connection of two people that are meant to be together. All of these moving parts that you think that you have control over. And the reality was that God was in control of it all. Lean into it. You may want to run in the other direction. Fear may take over and it's destined. Now, this card here, victory, got me thinking. You may have been getting insight into this potential meeting with this person unknowingly for a very, very long time. This, when two worlds collide, for a very, very long time. When my daughter was 7, 5, 6, 7, I can't remember when. She had a lamp in her room, a yellow, like a golden lamp in her room. And she used to come and tell me that it was singing to her, but in this really kind of scary voice. And it would sing this song. And it was of a blind company, like a, louvers and blinds that you put on your windows. It was the jingle that they used on their ad. And it was Victory, Victory, Curtains and Blinds, 131399. And it used to frighten her. She didn't know what it meant. Didn't make any sense that there was a talking lamp. And so we eventually removed this, well, not eventually, but we took this lamp out of her room. But in the past few years, and we only know now that we're actually dreaming about the same thing, she's been having dreams about tsunamis, meeting up with the same groups of people, the end of the world as we know it. And so prior to this reading, and I use a couple of different tools to pull in spiritual energy. Words and numbers actually have an alphanumeric value. And there are ancient biblical tools that you can use to draw on underlying hidden messages for things. So gematria is a alphanumeric calculator, which will give you this word victory, which will give you the numeric value of that word, 1342. And if you align it with biblical text in the New Testament, it aligns with the word just. So I think justice, a balancing of these two energies, these two people. And in ancient biblical text, it's to triumph. It also aligns with the word Star Wars. So there might be something in the Star Wars movie. Star Wars. It also aligns with the number 672 and the words eternal flame, the last dance, dancing with a stranger, Queensland, decode Titanic. Maybe there's a message in that movie. That's two worlds colliding. I am the light, and the Olympics. Now the Olympics is in Queensland in 2032, and if you've been watching my readings, you will know that there's strong messages coming through about that. You can track back, and I've actually got another reading that I want to do in the next day or so in regards to some symbolism that I'm getting around collective energy and the Olympics. But what I was picking up on was that jingle in that song, that victory song. Because the name of the company was Victory Curtains and Blinds. Something that's hidden, a curtain blind, hides something from you. 131399, that's actually their phone number. But those numbers added up, adds up to an 8. An 8. Two people coming together. That's infinity. And what I just heard was you've been circling each other lifetime after lifetime. And in each and every lifetime, it is some big catastrophic event that brings you together. Now, it can be some sort of natural disaster, but it can be two families with two very different reasons that end up in the hospital. Maybe you're there for your grandmother. Maybe you're there for your mother. And all of a sudden, two worlds collide. You may want to run in the other direction. Fear may take over, but it's destined. And it's being divinely guided by the universe. Now, interestingly, I didn't shuffle this deck before, and we've got the Six of Swords sitting on the top again, which again is divine alignment. It is God, the Emperor. It is God actually bringing you back together through some sort of crazy. We've got the Five of Swords there. Some sort of crazy Nine of Swords. You may want to run. Some sort of crazy situation that brings you back into alignment. Okay. Now, the other thing that happened was they don't normally sit there, those cards, that way. But we've got alignment here that brings you back into alignment. Let us use, this is my original Lovebirds Tarot deck. I've also got my puppy sitting beside me. Now, he will come and sit beside me, and he actually came and sat on the couch before I started this reading. He's ready. It's the stage is set for this. Normally what happens is I'll do all my shuffling and everything like that, and then he will kind of see that I'm doing a reading and he'll come and sit up beside me. But he came first and sat down, and then he was looking to see if I was on my way. So he knew, God knows. Actually, dog and God is spelt using the same letters. He knew. Animals pick up on things. Animals pick up on that big earthquake that happened in Turkey a couple of years ago. I think it was the one that was like over 9.2 or something like that, something horrendous. The locals said the birds were acting crazy the day before. Okay, let's get the energy around you in this situation. These two people coming back together, the energy around you. Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is my Mother Mary card. It's Venus in Virgo. It's Mother Earth. Mother Earth, tsunamis, volcanoes. Tsunamis, volcanoes. Earthquakes. But it's mother energy. The other thing that the other people, mother's intuition. Intuitive people. Now, it can be a mother. It can be a grandmother. It can be somebody around you picking up on that sense that something is about to happen. Like in that dream, I was like, we've got to get off this island. Something's about to happen. And you may be picking up on it too. Something's about to happen. But as I said to you, even though my friend found the flights and we booked and paid them, God was in control, and we ended up on the island anyway. What's happening in the 3D? That's the Two of Cups. That's the soulmate card. A soul contract that you have with this person to come together in this lifetime. But it's in the context of some sort of catastrophe. And in the soul, oh, the Queen of Wands. The Moon in Leo. In this particular deck, she's on a journey. She's on a solo journey on her own. But in doing that, she comes into alignment. This is a love deck. She comes into alignment with her destined partner. She doesn't know it at the time. The other thing, and it just popped into my head. There is actually a star called 131399. It's a star that they found not long ago. Has 3 suns. Star Wars, there's two suns on Tatooine. Is that the name of the planet? 3 suns. What does that mean? 3 suns. And then I just heard black hole sun, black hole sun, black hole sun. That's a song. Queen of Wands, 4 of Pentacles on the bottom. That's fear. That's also the sun in Capricorn. What's the message from the man upstairs? High Priestess. It's hidden. The High Priestess is the moon. It's hidden. Maybe hidden from you because if you knew what was going to happen, you would make it harder for the divine to keep you there. You know, if I go back to that scenario of you know, 2 families that end up in the hospital and then, you know, you meet your person. Well, if you knew that granddad was going to have a heart attack or that somebody was going to crash their car, and there's a plane. You maybe would try and change the outcome. But if you change the outcome, you change the meeting of these two people. Can you hear that candle? Now I changed. I bought a whole heap of. They actually align with my Lovebirds Tarot deck. It's called the Willow Tree design. But I bought a bunch of candles, and I normally use a different wick, and I decided to use a different wick. I changed the outcome, and it's not working because that noise in my reading is distracting me. You're not meant to know too much about this situation. The outcome. Yeah, it's meant to be hidden. The moon in Libra. It's meant to be hidden because while it's hidden, God is in control. God has the balance of this situation. Oh, the Hierophant. Again, God is in control. Okay, let us get the Nine of Pentacles, the World. Wow. The World is Saturn. It's the end of a current cycle that you are in without this person in your life, and the start of something new. But if we look at it from the perspective of the end of the world as we know it, I'm just getting Mother Mary energy here, because if you think about Mary, she had divine communication that she was going to have a baby. It was the end of the world as she knew it. And it actually brought her, well, she was previously in alignment with Joseph, but it cemented their relationship. The end of the world as we know it. And even the line in that song, and I feel fine, which again is that lean into it energy. The Five of Wands, lean into it. That's competition, fighting, trying to battle, you know, as I said, in that dream that I had, it was this realization that even though this massive wave was coming in, the fact that this other group of people had turned up, which I know from my dreams is part of, you know, some sort of soul journey, alignment that's meant to happen in this lifetime. The fact that they were there, even though potentially we were all, that was it for everybody, that leaning into it, and it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. This kind of this inner knowing that whatever was playing out, or whatever is playing out, is meant to be. It's meant to be the alignment of this relationship. Now, that's too many, but we've got the Sun, the Five of Cups, the Magician, the Eight of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Tell me about this Two of Cups, these two people. Oh, Judgment. It's giving me surrender. Because in this deck here, this lady makes a decision to walk away from everything that she knows and to go on a solo journey. The Nine of Pentacles is solo, single, independent, free. Go on a solo journey. The King of Wands, which is her counterpart, he does the same thing. God sees that they are surrendering to the divine, brings in judgment on them, and grants them the freedom of this beautiful new relationship. Surrender is releasing control. Two turtle doves. That's a dove on the top of that card. The King of Cups. The King of Cups is Neptune in Pisces. It's this massive, big, full cup of love. But you both have for each other. And I just got that, there's a Ross Copperman song, Holding On and Letting Go. Because in her dreams that she has about this tsunami coming in, and this water coming in. This person in her dream is reaching out a hand, holding on and letting go as the water comes in. It's like a surrender. Now I've got that We're All in This Together song from High School Musical, Queen of Wands. The Four of Cups. What else have we got? And the Knight of Pentacles. The Four of Cups is the moon in Cancer, and that card is about the divine giving you something but you not wanting it. So potentially, you know, something coming to you in a package that you didn't expect that it was going to come in. A person coming to you in a form that it wasn't meant to. Well, I wanted to meet my person while I was wearing this beautiful dress, and they spot me across a crowded room and our eyes meet. Sparks fly and we fall in love. When the reality is you meet somebody in the family room of the hospital and you've been crying for ages because a loved one has been in a horrific accident, or somebody's parent or grandparent has passed away. Not coming in the package that it's meant to come in. You know, if you're on the beach and there's a massive big tsunami coming, or you're on holiday and there's alert that, you know, there's a volcano or an earthquake or something like that, you're not going to be dressed with your hair and your makeup done, or it's something, I want to say it's not ideal, but in terms of how you pictured it. The Knight of Pentacles is Saturn in Capricorn, so it's lesson after lesson after lesson. But sometimes the most beautiful things in life happen through the biggest tragedy, the biggest epiphanies that you have about where you are and why you're there, and the bigger meaning of why something is happening actually come in the middle of. It's like the phoenix rising from the ashes. You have to go through the fire in order to get that connection. The High Priestess, which is why you can't control it. We have the Seven of Wands on the bottom, which is you trying to say, no, I want it to come in this particular package. You can't control it. High Priestess, this is the message from the man upstairs. Temperance Angel. Divine timing. But you don't know when the timing is. You're not going to get an alert. At 10:30 a.m. tomorrow, a massive big tsunami is going to come and crash onto the beach that you plan to go and sunbake on. Because you wouldn't go there. And if you didn't go there, you wouldn't meet this person. The Knight of Swords, you'd be like, yeah, nah. The Five of Cups, you wouldn't meet this person. If you know too much about this situation, especially if you're somebody who likes to plan and control, you've got a lot of Virgo in your chart, a lot of Capricorn in your chart, you will actually miss the opportunity. And I almost want to say here that your eyes, the divine has your eyes closed to aspects of this meeting. Dancing with a stranger, to aspects of this meeting. The Five of Swords, which is Venus in Aquarius. And the Three of Swords. Lots of swords here in the outcome. I'm going to say it without saying it. This is the moon in Libra. This is the divine keeping the blindfold on so that you can't see. Venus in Aquarius and the Three of Swords is Saturn in Libra. The divine keeping things hidden, masked, hidden. Why? And the words that I got were, so that you don't F it up. If you know too much, you're going to wreck it. "911. The ambulance in the background. You're not meant to know too much. The star. All you're meant to know is whatever and however this happens, it's destined. That's Aquarius. It's destined. And we've got the Seven of Swords there. The divine is being sneaky. It's like the parent who goes out on the night before Easter and puts bunny rabbit footprints all through the house. So the kids get up in the morning, you know, and there might be like a carrot there with a bite out of the carrot. So the kids, there's a magic in this that you're not meant to, there's a magic in it that you're not meant to see until you're actually living it. Because if you know, you go to watch a magician show and you know how the trick is done, then you don't enjoy the show. It's meant to be a surprise. It's meant to be a surprise. Okay, let's have a look. Messages from the divine. Frustration. I tell you what, I'm a control freak. This would annoy me, and it is, because I want to know more. Learning from hard lessons. What you're actually learning is that life path, the divine is in control. Even if you think you're in control, there's somebody bigger with their hand on the wheel. Deep shadow work. Potentially it's part of, I'm going to put that over the Two of Cups there. Potentially it's part of the lessons that you have to learn in this, the soul lessons that you have to learn in this lifetime. Your protection, your connection is protected. That's what I want to tell you. Let's have a look at another angel. Let's see who else is walking with you. Now, as I said to you, I'm getting dreams about tsunamis. It could be metaphorical. The underlying theme, whether it's physical, something physically that's going to happen, as in, you know, environmental, or whether it is just some sort of crisis, disaster that happens in your life that facilitates this connecting of these two individuals. Prophetic dreams, lover of the arts, number 17. Now 17 aligns with the 17 of the star card, so it is distant, but in this particular set of cards, they align with angels. That's the sun in, I have to think about that. That's the sun in Gemini. That's the 10 of Swords. Prophetic dreams and lover of the arts. You may have been dreaming about this. And number 52, prisoners. That's the judgment card. So now we've got two judgment cards. Judgment, judgment, the world. The Hierophant twice, because we had it here. The star. What else have we got? The High Priestess, temperance. And the Two of Cups. You've got some big, 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 big cards. And the Hangman. And 58, mentality. That's the Three of Pentacles. That for me in this instance is a connection between three people. The Three of Pentacles card is three of these little discs. It's a connection between the two of you, you and whoever this person is. But the third person in there is God, is the divine. Okay, let's get... It's a full moon in Scorpio. It's a full moon in Scorpio. Let go of the negativity. I want to say let go of the idea that you can control this. You're not in control. And it's for a reason, because if you knew too much, it's not, if you knew too much, you wouldn't come together. It potentially would just take longer. And I kind of get the sense with this particular connection that there's a reason why lots of things are hidden, and it's because you're meant to come together at a specific point in time. It's like, it's like the Truman Show, and actually those songs have been coming through so frequently in the past couple of days. I always have my songs on random shuffle, and I'm getting heaps and heaps of the Truman Show. If he knew too much about what was happening, now this is obviously in a negative sense for him because, you know, he needed to know what was going on in order to break free. But just imagine that the Truman Show was this connection of these two people coming together, orchestrated around some big, you know, cue the tsunami. You know, if you knew too much, there's too many working parts in here. Too many working parts for you to know too much. South Node, which is what you are releasing in the first house. South Node in the first house, it's been all about putting yourself in the spotlight to uncover your true self. But hey, it's time to realize that being kind to others doesn't mean losing yourself in the process. This is where we wave goodbye to old habits to make room for personal growth. It's like our spiritual stretch zone. Time to let go and level up. What I'm getting from that is it runs in line with what I was saying. There's too many working parts here. There's too many people at play, or there is multiple people at play in terms of how this connection comes together and the timing of when it comes together. The first house is about you. It's about, well, this isn't going to work for me this day. Well, I better leave because there's a tsunami coming. I just heard it's being orchestrated. Even though, Two of Cups, even though you will end up being, and I don't know the orchestral term, even though you will end up being the two instruments in this beautiful orchestral piece of music, the highlight of the show, there's a point in this where you need to be part of the band, part of the group of people playing on the stage. Crescendo, I just said crescendo. I'm not musically minded. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's get. This is my love songs. 1,000 Years, Christina Perri, One Step Closer. The Temperance card is divine timing. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I'll love you for 1,000 more. And all along, I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I have loved you for 1,000 more. I think of, that's obviously from the Twilight movie. Something had to happen in Bella's life for her to end up in that little town. And I've just had a mind blank. I can't think of his name. Edward. So, why did she end up there? Something catastrophic happened in her life where she had to move there. And it was not where she wanted to be. You may want to run in the other direction. Fear may take over, but it's destined. She was destined to be there. Orchestrated by the divine. Turning page, that's Twilight as well, right? I've waited 100 years, but I'd wait 1,000,000 more for you. Nothing prepared me for what the privilege of being yours would do. If I had only felt the warmth within your touch, if I'd only seen the smile when you blushed. Is that not the song that they got married to? I would have known what I was living for all along, what I've been living for. Is that the... comes the sun, the Beatles. What else? Let's get two more. The first cut is the deepest. Use of Cat Stevens. I would have given you all of my heart, but there's someone who's torn it apart, and she's taken all that I had. But if you want, I'll try to love again. Maybe the catastrophe is that you're going through a breakup and the last thing you want to do is run towards love, but all of a sudden you end up in the arms. I heard in the arms of the person that you're meant to be with. I just called to say I love you. No April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. But what is this? It's something true, made up of these three words that I must say to you. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Marry you. It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you. Interesting, because we've got two Hierophants here. The Two of Cups, the Star card. Bizarre love triangle. This relationship involves marriage. Okay, let's get. These are my love messages. Don't listen to others, just listen to your heart. Where are you being called? You know, and if it's not some catastrophic event, you know, are you being called to try a new coffee shop? Maybe you run into your person there. Divine timing and illumination. Where are you being called? I messed up big time. Self-confident. To me, that's about listening to your intuition. What are you being guided to do? Change. I normally go every morning to this particular coffee shop. I normally go every week to this particular grocery store. Maybe it's a change. Or that could be about you trying to change things because you don't think it aligns with how you have envisaged you would meet this person. Karmic connection. That's about the lessons that are within. I want a new beginning with you. I'm going to get one more. Actually, no, I'm going to get two because I don't like it uneven. I sabotage this because of fear. Now, I actually had a phone call coming through. These two cards came out, illumination, patience, and planning. And on the bottom of the deck, I would love to see you and talk to you. Okay, I'm going to get three. There's something in this message that's not meant to come out because I had a phone call come through, which stopped the recording. And then as I was doing the Scrabble tiles, my alarm went off as well. I've got two. When this happens, when all of these letters come out and I end up with two, a Y and a Z, that's the end. Why is this happening to me? A Y and a Z. There's some message in that, a Y and a Z. Let's put these back. Give me a second. X, Y, Z. Okay. A Q and a 10. An M and a 3. A T and a 1. A W and a 4. A G and a 2. A V and a 4. An S and a 1. A C and a 3. An X and an 8. An F and a 4. A B and a 3. An E and a 1. An N and a 1. An I and a 1. An A D. Enid Blyton. I don't know if that's how you spell her name. Give me a second. I just want to check on something with this Y and Z. Okay. Just going to, this is the gematria calculator that I use. It's linked in the description. A Y and a Z equals 900, 306, or 51. Let me just see what else there is in there. W, transparency. Wow, last day on earth. Blood of David. Basically, there are pages and pages and pages of them. And what I would say to you is just, if you're going to use it, just go through the pages and see what you're intuitively guided to. Now, the other thing that I do is 900. So Strong's Concordance links numbers up with verses in biblical text, and sometimes there's hidden meanings within the verses. So I'm going to put it into this one first, 900, which is what those numbers align with. Treacherous, something treacherous. Wow. The deep sea, the high seas. Interesting that that's coming through on a tsunami message. Okay, I'm going to get 3 final cards for you. Ends. The end of the world as we know it. It's giving me that Armageddon movie too. 3 final cards. Patience and planning, divinely orchestrated. 5 of Wands. That's it's battle energy, but it's like, oh my God, something's happening. What do we do? You're thinking about something else when this happens. The 7 of Wands. You're battling something else, and it could be battling emotionally, battling physically. Something else is happening in the midst of this coming together. And the King of Pentacles, battling financially. That's also about stability. And on the bottom, we've got the Tower. Tower, the Devil, the World. The 10 of Wands. The Sun. The Tower card is things coming crashing down. That's God in this card. The Tower, the Devil, a change being made to a situation, and then justice. What an interesting reading. I'm going to leave this here. And I'm probably going to think about it all afternoon. Whatever this is, whatever this is, you have no control over it, but I want you to know, protected, that you are two people in the boat of the divine. The seas may be rough in this particular situation, but you are being guided. All of this was meant to play out in order to bring you together. Justice, the sun, the world, the devil, the tower. That's where I'm going to leave it. If this reading resonated for you, please give it a like. If you are called to any of my decks, the links to those can be found in the description box. As I said, all the songs will be listed also in the description box. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I do post regularly. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you again in another reading.